Happy Fragrant Friday, Fraghead. Hey everybody, this has Ben here at That Cologne Guy, coming at you with a new Chicago Got It this week review. How are you doing? I hope you are doing well. Happy Fragrant Friday to you, and I hope you have a great weekend. And for all the baseball fans out there, of course, enjoy opening day for your team, and if it's already happened, enjoy opening weekend. So it's always fun, especially when we finally have warmer weather. You've seen the title and the description, so you know this is Intense Cedrat Boise by Mancera. So this is a few things that I want to say right off the bat for my baseball theme there. I want to say that number one, if this is your first episode with me, do know that I am a hashtag Mancera fanboy. I really like Mancera as a house. And the other thing is, you should also know that I have reviewed. So this is, of course, Cedrat Boise Intense or Intense Cedrat Boise, and this is a 2021 release. And I originally was a 2018, I think was the original, but either way, I reviewed it as a first impressions years ago. And then I redid it last year, almost to the day actually. I redid it and gave a full review of Cedrat Boise, which was 5 out of 5 sprays in my 5 spray rating system. So I originally gave it a 4 out of 5 as part of my first impressions series. But then after that, I reviewed it. I just really like that fragrance, and I kept coming back to the notion that I was frustrated that I gave a 4 out of 5. So I did a second review, a full review of it, and gave it the 5 out of 5 that it certainly merits. Now, so that's the second thing you should know. Really, the third thing is it's kind of the if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of mentality when it comes to Cedrat Boise, because it was a 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. When I didn't have it, I was missing it, and you frag heads know what I mean. And I was recalling the fragrance, and I really appreciate that one a lot. If I had to do a top 20 all time, Cedrat Boise would be in it. And the only thing that really I would say is that apparently they have done what a lot of companies do, and there's going to be I'm going to be a little cranky here because apparently the Cedrat Boise has been watered down and reformulated. So I have not experienced that personally, but enough people have said it that I'm convinced that since the original, it has been reformulated and, of course, watered down. Why they do that is annoying. I guess we all know why they do that. They do that so that, of course, you come out, it comes out with guns ablazing, and it has all of this longevity and projection and sillage, and then of course after a while you get used to it, you like it, and then they start to water down the product, and then this all has meaning behind it, because there's a reason why I'm doing this, because that is when they dish out the intense version. So a lot of houses do this. We're all annoyed by it. Frankly, I'm incredibly annoyed by it. So this is another one. They watered down the original, and then they bust out the intense version. So it's like, I'm kind of not sure why, and I fall victim to this too. I'm right along with you. We should not buy these, actually, in my estimation, generally speaking, the intense versions, because you should just make it intense from the very beginning. Now, if they had not watered it down at all and then did an intense version and changed the notes slightly, I am okay with that. So let's talk about the notes, actually. They did change the notes a little bit. This is not just simply the intense version. So let me say the original is a eau de parfum, and this one is the extrait de Parfum, and it's Extrait. So I don't know if it's extrait or extrait de Parfum, but it is the higher concentrated version of the eau de parfum. So if all of that is too technical for you, all you need to know is most of the ones that you buy at department stores are going to be EDTs or eau de toilette, and then you go up in concentration. One would be parfum, and then of course even more than that is the extrait or extrait de, I guess it'd be parfum. So highly concentrated, in other words. So it's not an eau de parfum, but it's not just a higher concentrated version of the original. That's what you need to make sure you get out of this video if you chose it, because you want to compare it to the original. So here are the notes that I made. This one is definitely the older brother. I mean, it's the austere version. It's the clubber who now has the corporate job and goes to work every day, and right now has moved out of mom and dad's house, now has own apartment and sports car and a Movado watch. Okay, and so it's not, he's wearing this to work, right? And so this one is kind of the day counterpart to the night original. That's the way I see it. So they certainly lowered the fruity factor. They lowered the fruitiness of the original. And then they also upped the animalic nature of it. So again, they got rid of the fruitiness, they lowered the fruitiness, and then they upped the animalic notes. The second thing they did was they added a freshness to this, and then I noticed that they dropped out of it the sweet note. So like this one has amber in it, and it also has ambergris in this one. So there is more freshness. But they definitely lowered or even dropped out the sweetness that you really saw in the first one. So, older brother. This one is the older brother. This one is the one you wear to the day corporate job when you work for, like, stocks and bonds now or something. I don't know. You work at the Dow Jones, the New York Stock Exchange during the day, so you wear the intense version, and then at night when you go clubbing still on the weekends, then you bust out the original. That's the way I see it. Now, I really like the original. Do I like the original more? I do, but I am annoyed that they have watered it down, and that is certainly frustrating for me. This one, I mean, look, it's a no-lose situation unless you get one that really has zero longevity. I mean, some people said the newest formulation, they got 30 minutes. I mean, I didn't get that, of course, for the original I'm talking. But, that'd be the only bad thing. They both smell fantastic. That said, though, I personally feel like the original has more personality. I feel like it's got more pop to it. I just like the fruity. I like sweet fragrances anyway, so you should again know that. This one is definitely more of the bwazay, we'll say, because don't forget the name. For some reason, when I first started out in this hobby, I always associated Cedrat, Cedrat with cedar, but of course it's citrus, and then bwazay is French for wood. So this is like it's like citrus wood fragrance. But I like the fruitiness in the sweetness in the original a lot. I feel like it has more personality. I feel like it's probably more youthful, so you could probably say, well, then you should be wearing this one. True, but I just happen to like the other one better. That said, this one clearly has, what I really like about this fragrance, this version, is that it has a very traditional masculine kind of wink to the 80s powerhouses element to it, but yet it's a modern take. Sounds like a commercial, but that's exactly how I see it. Actually, I see this as a more traditional, quote unquote, a gentleman, manly, whatever term, masculine. But I like the fact that it's traditional, but then has enough of a modern element to it that it's a home run. You see, apparently I'm just going to keep on doing baseball analogies, and I hope I don't strike out. All right, it's just so bad. So that's the way this is going to run. This is a very nice one, and I actually noticed that it has a higher rating than the original. Certainly surprised me. This one's not as original, but many people find it better, and I think one of the reasons why, though, again, is I just feel like Mancera's got to have a little slap on the wrist for watering down the original, and then here go buy. Oh, by the way, go buy the intense version to save the day. They should not be watering down their fragrances, ever. This is just clearly what I said earlier. It's the older brother. It's the one you wear. This one's definitely during the day. You're wearing very nice clothes. You got your own apartment. You got your new car. You got your Audi. You're rocking a Movado watch. You got your first few paychecks rolling in. And then at night you're going to reach for the original. So the original is probably more for 20s, and then this would be like 35 and up if you wanted to do age. But really, that's what it's going to come down to. Daytime, this guy. Nighttime, weekends, the other guy. End of. So that's really what's going on here. And then they're both. This one is, like I said, quite masculine. So I will say people who actually own this, I would say, I'll just go 85-15. I will say an 85% will be men and 15% women. Women could pull this off, of course, but. In the end, though, I think it would work best on a man's skin. So I'm going to say 85-15 on the split for gender, and and there you have it. If there's one thing that I really do like about this fragrance, because I was slightly annoyed originally, right? It's like, come on, man, you're going to do this to us? Just keep making Cedrat Boise at the level that you did in terms of concentration. There's one thing I do like, though, when you lower the fruity element and you up the animalic, and then you give it a little bit more of a fresh quality and tone down the sweetness, or drop it even. You do get something that is it slightly less personality, but and originality. But I do really like the notion of a modern take on a traditional masculine fragrance. You see, there you go. And really, for season, I'm not really going to do season. This is definitely another one that is 365 days a year for me. I really like the fact that this could be worn year round. I do not associate any season with this one at all. I really see this as one that would be great for someone who doesn't have a lot in their collection, and you could reach for this every day. I really like the overall smell of both this one and the original. Huge #fanboy of Mancera, but I will say definitely a slap on the wrist to the house for lowering the projection, longevity, and sillage of the original, and then introducing this guy to come to the rescue. It's a marketing technique that clearly works for the fragrance industry, and that is a damn shame. Okay, so now when it comes to the rating, I all week I have bounced between a 4 and a 5. I have bounced between a 4 and a 5 all week because I feel like it. My original thinking was that it was a superfluous release. It's like, really, what? But after I took a look at the notes, it's still to the last second extremely close. Which one do I prefer? I prefer the original version, and of course formulation. That'll be 2018, whenever it first came out, and before they watered it down. I like that one over this one, but I just really like the austere nature of this one. I'm gonna go 4. Yeah, I know. It's like a 4.4. 4, where 4.45 would bounce to 5, and then and just round up, just keep on rounding. It is so close to a 5. I just feel like if the Parfumé said, I really wanted to take the original and tone down a few things to make it more of a modern take on a traditional men's masculine fragrance, and that was it, I'd go 5 out of 5. But the fact that they did the technique in the industry that is wildly successful because people shell out crazy amounts of money for fragrance, where they watered it down and then brought this guy in as to save the day. I'm going to have to dock them a point for that. Really, it's a 5 out of 5 fragrance, though. I'd be 5 sprays out of 5 just on the actual fragrance itself. But I want to dock a spray for lack of, well, I guess taking some of the character out of the original, meaning the fruitiness and the sweetness that I really like, and then also the fact that they're toying with us a little bit. And one thing I love about Montals and Manceras, in fact, this is kind of good that it happened because soon I'll be doing my list of favorite houses. They're way up there. And I love the fact that they last a very, very long time. And I sincerely hope, in the off chance that they are watching this, I sincerely hope that they stay away from this kind of stuff of watering down their own products and then upping them with an intense version. So I'm not a huge fan of that, but I will say I will definitely tip my baseball cap, of course, to the overall scent. Man, so here's the question that has to be asked: if I just had money for one, which one would I get? Very tough one for me, because if I run the risk of getting the watered down version, of the original, would I want that? Man, I really, really like the house, and I really, really like both of these. Very tough choice. If I knew that I was getting the original formulation, I would barely, but I would decide on the original over this one. That said, you should know that on Fragrantica this has a higher rating than the original, so maybe other reviewers would say exactly the opposite. Either way though, very well done fragrance. No surprise here from a fantastic house. Mancera is one of my favorites, and I really enjoyed wearing this one this week. So there you have it. There it is, Cedrat Boise Intense Cedrat Boise by Mancera, and this was the last of the samples that I had from Lucky Scent. I really enjoyed that one, and I am reluctantly, but I feel like it's the right thing to do, going with 4 out of 5 sprays for this one. If you disagree, well, first of all, let me know. If you do feel like this is a 5, though, here's the other thing. Don't forget, in my system, 4 and 5s both. I have a lot of fragrances that I reviewed and gave a 4 and then bought them. 4 and 5 mean that I would definitely have them in my collection, no doubt. And then, the 3s, sometimes yes, sometimes no's, and then, of course, 2s and 1s, absolutely not. So this one, I definitely would want this one at the right price. And I certainly enjoyed it. I do feel like it's a tough call though, because it's kind of like remakes of Queen songs. You really don't need to touch them because they're perfect as they are. Cedrat Boise was original. The original was exceptional and it was outstanding, and I would not have really touched a thing. But now that they have, definitely for it's the guy who no longer goes clubbing and has the corporate job on Wall Street. There you have it, another review by the boards, all knocking at the door. At a 5 out of 5, but I'm going to give it the 4 out of 5 that it merits. And so I hope you guys are doing well. Let me know what you think of either the original or this one. I know I got a couple comments over the last couple months here about this one. So, what do you think? Do you like the original better? Do you like this one? Could you care less? Do you like both of them? I would love to hear back from you. Make sure you have a great week. I hope you take care. And of course, my friends, always remember, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care, everybody. Okay, so welcome to the bonus feature, and you guys know when I give my rating, I actually do sprays of the same number that I give, and I was just overcome with emotion talking about this one and comparing it to the original that I forgot to give myself the sprays. Now these, of course, are Lucky Scent dabs with the Wingardium Leviosa wand, but these of course are faux dabs yet again because I cruised and seared through this dude this week. So these are going to be fake ones, but I wanted to just, per tradition, I wanted to make sure that I did what I always do in my episodes. So 4 out of 5 sprays for Intense Cedrat Boise. I'll go 1 on each wrist and 1 on each side of the neck, but again, these are faux dabs. Okay. Boom. Boom. And boom. And if you're wondering, my scent of the day is Chrome by Azzaro. Once this. Could you try again? Oh, well, okay. My phone just said, I didn't get that. Could you try again? Sure. My scent of the day is Chrome Azzaro. Okay, so I guess she's not going to say anything else. I'm not sure I understand. She's not sure she understands. Okay. Whenever the spring hits, I like to bust out Chrome by Azzaro. It's a fantastic fragrance and definitely one that is perfect. As I've said before, if you look at your calendars, it's a perfect gift for Father's Day. I really like that one a lot. It's fresh, perfect for the spring, and once the weather heats up. You take care. Have a great week. Take care, everybody.